all to the Women's Initiative Luncheon and Fashion Show.
The hottest luncheon of the year.
In 1995, 3 women were moved by the plight of Houston's impoverished inner-city Hispanic females.
Un grupo que todas tienen una historia y una historia que muchas veces no ha sido fácil. Y por eso creamos este grupo, por eso, para ayudar y empoderar a la mujer latina.
Touched by that reality, these civic-minded women devised a plan that would aid women and children in need by forming an organization comprised of community-minded Mexican women.
Empezamos con un equipo en mi casa, o sea, empezamos sentadas todas en una mesa, puedes venir, y ver cómo ha ido creciendo es algo increíble.
The commitment to the initiative kept growing at the same speed as the city changed. That's why in 2006, after careful consideration, Mexican Women Initiative's name was converted into the Latin Women's Initiative.
Now Latin Women's Initiative has just grown so much, and it's so much more than empowering women, but it's educating women, it's educating the children. And that's what we do. We as women, but as Latinas, we work together to help each other rise above it.
In 2002, Patricia Herrera spearheaded an idea that would help bring to life a first-class fundraising event that was unique to the community.
Después de un año de ser presidenta, se me ocurrió la idea de hacer un evento grande en el que las latinas tuviéramos más fuerza.
When we started that, it was a small organization, and then I'm proud to say my mom then brought it into an amazing event.
El primer desfile de modas fue todo un éxito que hasta ahorita hemos continuado cada año haciendo este desfile.
Celebrating 20 years of fashion for a cause. This was the beginning of an annual fundraising event that has since become one of Houston's premier luncheon and fashion shows.
I think this fashion show is an incredible way of highlighting the talent that we have in our community. We have designers that have come from Mexico, from South America.
There's so much work that goes into putting it together, but it's really meaningful work that ends up being far-reaching,
And I love how now it's not only an event that embraces all Latin American women to come together and enjoy this and help a good cause. I love the fact that all women, regardless of whether they're Latin American or not, are part of this.
Last year we had a record-breaking year, raising $150,000 to be able to distribute $30,000 to the 5 different nonprofits, and we're hoping to just continue. It's just every year it gets bigger and better, and we continue to raise more money. More people continue to learn more about what Latin Women's Initiative is doing in the community.
In celebration of the 20th anniversary of the fashion show and luncheon, this year we honor the past presidents of Latin Women Initiative. Congratulations to Leticia Pallet, Betty Flores, Patricia Herrera, Diva Garza Hulet, Patti Domínguez, Claudia Contreras, Maritere Perrusquia, Ana Matamoros, Rosy Hernández, Cindy Garza Roberts, Michelle Leal, Daisy Mendoza, Mari Treviño Glass, Maritza Gonzalez. Celebrating the past, present, and the future.
Welcome everyone to our annual Latin Women's Initiative Membership Luncheon. I'm Vicki Dominguez, Membership Chair for the Latin Women's Initiative. Before we jump into the program, we would like to take a moment for a blessing over this wonderful food that's prepared by the Junior League. Please welcome Sister Rika Demilibat, CCVI, with the Congregation of the Sisters Charity of Incarnate Word, Houston, Texas, to give our invocation.
Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you for having me. Before we proceed, I'd like to invite all of you to quiet yourselves. Take a deep, refreshing breath and heighten our awareness of the presence of God in our midst. O loving Creator, your reign is already within and upon us. We need only to open our hearts. You planted deep within our souls the seed of the desire to search for you. Yet it is really you who relentlessly seek us. As we gather today, envelop us with a grateful spirit to enable us to open our minds to all your magnificent gifts. Give us a loving spirit that has eyes to see the dignity of each human being, that embraces the beauty of each of our race, age, gender, religious beliefs, and social status. Give us a gentle and inclusive spirit that flourishes in diversity. Unite all of us gathered here today and make us joyful in one spirit, to be in solidarity with those who are most vulnerable in our communities and the world. Bless all the members and future members of the Latin Women's Initiative. May the work of their hands prosper. May their presence be a blessing to all the people whose lives they touch. May their service be their reward as they bring hope, empowerment, peace, love, and joy to the lives of so many people they encounter. Loving God, give them words of truth to speak to our broken world. In the face of hatred, let us be the voice of reason that bridges the gap of our divided society. Merciful God, give them words of comfort to speak when hope and mercy are in short supply, when events occur that seem senseless and without meaning. Gentle God, give them words of encouragement to speak when new visions are needed, when new dreams must be dreamt. You have called them, Lord, and they have answered that call. Provide them with your grace, that their actions become the sign of your loving presence in our world. And we ask you to bless the food we're about to partake. In your name, amen.
Thank you, Sister Rika. At this time, I would like to introduce our MC, Daniela Guzman. Daniela is a Houston native and is proud to bring you the news at 6 and 10 p.m., Monday through Friday on KPRC Channel 2. Welcome, Daniela.
Vicky, thank you. Hello, everybody. Is it still morning? 2 more minutes. Good morning. It is so great to see all of you. You know, I have been away now I was in Chicago for about 3 years. I was in Los Angeles for almost 9 years. That's a long time to be away from home. But it was time for me to come home, and I am so happy to be back in Houston. I'm missing so many of you, and it's so great to be back at home here at KPRC, too. So, I really need to give props to Latin Women's Initiative, because what a great way to start a weekend, right? Friday, a huge room full of strong, powerful, beautiful, intelligent women doing great things for the community. We are kicking off the weekend. So again, welcome to this year's LWI Membership Luncheon. It is so wonderful to see so many of you, and if you are joining us for the very first time, what a great way to celebrate Hispanic Heritage Month as well. So over 27 years ago, as we saw in that video right there, LWI was formed by a group of very powerful Latinas. They were really moved by the desire to want to help other women in our community, and women in need, families in need. And so they did it, and they continue to do it, and they continue to make such a big impact in our community. Let's fast forward to today. Latin Women's Initiative has really blossomed into one of Houston's top Hispanic fundraising organizations. That's something you should be very proud of. So many of you help provide financial support. and volunteers to nonprofits that primarily assist Hispanic women and children that live in our community. So since it began, LWI has donated, get this, $2.5 million to our local nonprofit organizations, really making a significant difference in the lives of thousands of people in need. And all of this is because of your support and, of course, the board of directors who give so much of their time. So today's event would really not be possible without all of your hard work, without the board of directors, without the support of our sponsors, our local sponsors who give back to us and give back to our community. So if you allow me quickly to go over this to give them the credit that they deserve. Catholic Charities, Archdiocese of Galveston, Houston. You can clap. It's fine. You don't have to hold it till the end. Comcast, Formers International, Indie Construction Partners, LLC, KJ Marketing Group, Olga Balboa, Lorraine Martinez and Jessica Gonzalez, Sweat, yeah, University of St. Thomas Rising Stars Program, by the way, I went to St. Thomas. And thank you to KJ Marketing Group as well for underwriting the videographer in the video Bassett Film Company. Again, thank you to all of our sponsors. You can now give a big round of applause for all of them. All right, and if you would allow me as you get started on that yummy salad there in front of you, I'm going to introduce the Latin Women's Initiative 2022-2023 Board of Directors. So when I call your name, please stand up. Remain standing until we have called all board members. We would like to honor you and thank you. Let's start with Vicky Luna, President. Beautiful and blue there, Vicky. Maritza Gonzalez, immediate past President. Patricia Garcia, President-elect. Sonia Padilla, Vice President of Board Governors. Jolene Treviño, Secretary. Hi, Jolene. Monica Jimenez, Community Relations Chair. Vicky Dominguez, Membership Chair. Vanessa Ramirez, Public Relations Chair. Members at large, April Ramirez Fabre. Isela Garcia. Jackie Garcia. Laura Salinas Pruneda. Joda Sana. And Gloria Bounds, Advisory Board Chair. Did I skip somebody? Guys, we have some breaking news. I skipped Giovanni Orellana, Vice President of Board Governance. We saved the best for last, Giovanni. I'm kidding. You guys are all the best. Sorry, Giovanni. All right, also, will all the 2022-2023 Advisory Board members please stand? We would like to give you a round of applause. 2022-2023 Advisory Board members. Thank you for everything that you do. Don't be shy. There you are. Thank you. And before we celebrate all the accomplishments of LWI and the generosity of all of the donors, let's turn our attention to the screen here for a video. Little suspense, happens, a little delay. We'll get it going in a moment. You guys can chat, it's okay. It's Friday for the fun luncheon. Oh, I do see some men out there. It's not all ladies. Well, welcome.
Latin Women's Women's Initiative has blossomed into one of Houston's top Hispanic fundraising organizations. This year's beneficiaries are Books Between Kids, a nonprofit organization serving Houston's children by providing them with books to build their home libraries. Throughout the year, they collect new and gently used books, sort them, and prepare them for distribution to children in the greater Houston area. Homemade Hope. Through a unique program focused on the culinary arts, Homemade Hope nurtures and empowers underserved Houston children, teaching them how to cook nutritious foods, developing their life skills, and engendering stability in their lives. Tejano Center. The mission of the Tejano Center for Community Concerns is to develop education, social, health, and community institutions that empower families to transform their lives. In 2021, Project Grad Services became a part of the Tejano Center family, delivering college and career advising to students and families in Harris County's most economically challenged populations. Undies for Everyone. This organization provides children living in poverty or crisis with new underwear, recognizing the importance of this basic need as part of the child's increased chances of long-term success. Wesley Community Center. This center invests in the potential of individuals and creates opportunities to strengthen families and build neighborhoods. Wesley began piloting its own GED program in July 2021, connecting students with the basic needs such as rent, utilities, food assistance, childcare, and transportation. Congratulations to this year's 5 nonprofits.
Those nonprofits doing some awesome work in our community, and so we are going to honor them today. So through our donor support from the fashion show and the luncheon, you saw some of the incredible video there. That was held back in May. Today, Latin Women Initiatives is distributing a record-breaking amount of grant money because of that day. Are you ready to hear how much money we're talking about here? Yeah, okay. Check this out. LWI is proud to present $40,000 grants to 5 local nonprofits. That's $40,000 each, by the way. Make sure you heard that. They're making such a big difference in our community and the lives of Latin women and their families. So, I'm not great at math, but I think this is an easy one. That's a total of $200,000. $200,000. This is the most grant money distributed on behalf of LWI. So this deserves another round of applause and a big celebration, too. Great work, LWI. I would like to invite Isela Garcia, outgoing community chair, and Monica Jimenez, community chair, to the stage to present the checks. All right, when I call the name of the organization, will the representative please come up, the representative of that organization come up to the stage as well to receive that check. All right, here we are. We're gonna give out some money to 5 amazing organizations. We're gonna start off with Books Between Kids. You saw in the video there, they serve Houston's at-risk children by providing them with books to build their home libraries. Representing Books Between Kids is Executive Director Kayla Hand. Thank you for everything you do. That's a great dress, by the way. It's really, wow, stunning. All right, Homemade Hope is dedicated to enriching young lives with the ingredient of hope. Homemade Hope nurtures and empowers underserved Houston children, teaching them, we saw in the video, how to cook. And not just any food. We're not talking about sandwiches and quesadillas. We're talking about nutritious foods that we want them to eat, we beg them to eat, and also how to develop life skills. So accepting on behalf of Homemade Hope is Carolina Manzanares. Thank you. All right, next is Tejano Center for Community Concerns. They develop education, they develop social health and community institutions that really empower families to transform their lives. Their Project Grad program delivers college and career advice services to students and to families in Harris County's most economically challenged population. So representing Tejano Center is Dr. Adriana Tames, the CEO. right, up next is something that many of us really don't think about people may need every single day, and especially our kiddos. Undies, underwear, undies for everyone. They do some incredible work here. They provide children living in poverty or crisis with some new, clean underwear, recognizing the importance of this small basic need as part of children's increased chances of not just long-term success, but confidence and just being healthy. Accepting on behalf of Undies for Everyone is Rabbi Amy Weiss, founder and CEO. All right, Wesley Community Center invests in the potential of individuals, and it creates opportunities as well to strengthen families and build neighborhoods. Wesley began its own GED program back in 2021, representing Wesley Community Center's president and CEO, Amy Corron. That right there, my friends, is a total of $200,000. So a big congratulations to the 2022 beneficiaries. I think we're gonna get a group picture here with all those checks. Yeah, let's get in the light. Light looks good, trust me. All right, go do some amazing things with all that money in our community. Thank you. Thank you, thank you. All right, I know you have plans this weekend and you're eyeing that floral arrangement right there in front of you. You want to take that home, don't you? Thank you to HEB for those beautiful floral arrangements. I'm told to tell you this, if it is your birthday month, you have the right to take those flowers. You get priority. If it is not your birthday month at the table, then just do rock, paper, scissors. I don't know. No fighting. Talk amongst yourself. Take those flowers home. Take them to your suegra. Take them to your boss. You know. But thank you to HEB for those beautiful flowers. Also, really quick, if there are any elected officials in the room, if you could please stand. Any elected officials? If not, that's okay. Is there one? Okay, a round of applause, please. Thank you, guys. All right, I know you guys are hungry. I can tell. But while you begin to enjoy your lunch, I am going to call raffle co-chairs Jolene Trevino, Joda Sana, so we can announce all of the raffle winners. All right. Ooh, I love this. This is always fun. All right, guys, ladies, if you did the raffle, we're gonna do that right now. Let's do it real quick before we eat. Thank you to our in-kind sponsors for the raffle items. If I could just have your attention, I'm almost done before lunch. I definitely want to be grateful to our sponsors. Our sponsors for the raffle are listed in your program, so we're going to start real quick for the first item. It is time to relax. Who needs to relax, right? We all do. Relaxation awaits with a 50-minute massage at Solaya Spa Salon. Sip and savor, enjoy a bottle of bubbly while partaking in a savory cheese board. And dinner for two enjoys a delicious dinner at any Killen's restaurant, hopefully it's the one in Pearland, locations throughout the Houston area with $150 in gift cards. Are we gonna do one by one? Let's do one by one. Okay, so this is for the relaxation.
Vanessa, maybe.
Okay. This is for Solaya Spa Salon. Little relaxation goes to Vanessa. Sorry, I'm gonna have to give out your phone number because I can't read the rest. If your number ends and your name is Vanessa with 7775.
There she is.
Is that you?
Yeah,
we did have a ticket number. I guess we'll use
I guess I could use a ticket number, huh? I'm not giving out your social security number. Thank you. Congratulations, Vanessa. Enjoy your relaxing day at the spa. Okay, next. Sip and savor. You get some champagne, some bubbly, and a nice cheese board. This goes to check your numbers. 050 to Carolina Arenas. Carolina Arenas 050. Woo! You're gonna have a nice weekend with this sparkling, with the bubbly and the cheese board. All right, next, dinner for two. Dinner for two. All right. Ready? Number 3. All right, we're almost done. I'll let you eat in peace in a minute. Number 032. Annie Beth? Annie Beth, 032. Don't be jealous. Give Annie Beth a round of applause. Let's celebrate her. Dinner for 2. All right, number 4. Date night with a cheese board and a bottle of champagne. Here we go. Number 003, Dalinda Gonzalez. Dalinda Gonzalez. 003. Raise your hand if you're Dalinda. Oh, there? Is there any way you could come up here to grab your grab your picture and your award? All right, you guys can clap for Dalinda. She won. All right, we got 2 more after this. Lunch smells really good. There's Dalinda. Congratulations. All right, number 5. This is a beauty package, full hair, full makeup, and a set of eyelashes. You got me at a set of eyelashes. All right. Number 057. Diane. Diane, 057. You get a full set of eyelashes, full hair, full makeup. Woo! All right. Last one. Ready for some pearly white teeth? You can brighten your smile with professional teeth whitening service. The value is $550. Okay, this is for number 016, Sandy Fuentes Cavazos. Sandy Fuentes Cavazos.
You already have a bright smile. Save it for those days where you have a lot of coffee or wine. There you go. All right, I'll let you eat in peace now. Enjoy your lunch, and we'll see you up here in a few moments. We'll have lots of time to dig into that dessert and catch up with each other, but for right now, I'd like to introduce our guest speaker. Jasmine Mendez is a Dominican-American poet. She's an educator. She's a trailblazer. She's a translator. She's a playwright, an award-winning author of several books for children and for adults. She has had poetry and essays published in numerous journals. She is the author of 2 multi-genre collections, Island of Dreams, which won, by the way, an International Latino Book Award, Night Blooming, Jasmine, Personal Essays, and Poetry. Her debut poetry collection, City Without Altar, was a finalist for the Noemi Press Poetry Prize and was released just this past August. Her debut middle grade novel in verse, Aniana del Mar Jumps In, is forthcoming in 2023. She has translated the work of New York Times best-selling authors Amanda Gorman and Claribel Ortega and the Houston Grand Opera. She's amazing, huh? Yeah, there's more. She's also received fellowships from Canto Mundo, Macondo, the Kenyan Review Writers Workshop, and the National New Playwrights Network, among many others. She is the MFA graduate of the Creative Writing Program at the Rayner Writing Workshop at Pacific Lutheran University. And, by the way, she's a cougar. She's a Cougs, yeah. University of Houston alumni. She's a look. She is the program director for the literary arts nonprofit Tintero Projects, and she also teaches creative writing for Goddard College. So please give a round of applause and a warm welcome to Jasmine Mendez.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. Yo soy Dominicana. Dominican. You can call me Latina, Hispanic, Caribbean, or just strange. I like fried plantains, arroz con pollo, and Juan Luis Guerra playing on through the night. I like to dance, sing, and understand that unless I'm in my own country, I will be labeled mixed, Puerto Rican, spick, everything but what I really am, a black Dominican. Left, right, left, right, left, I am a military brat. Yes, Father, Padre mío, I promise to do everything to serve and protect my country. I am from here and there and everywhere all at once. I lack stability and crave mobility, constantly changing, constantly moving, constantly leaving and losing friends. I'm black and I'm proud. But what I lack is a shroud of dignity to stand up and destroy your ability to categorize me into another statistical minority. I am black and I am proud, and I don't need you to define me. I am a Catholic. En nombre del Padre, del Hijo y del Espíritu Santo. I believe in one holy Catholic and Apostolic Church. I believe in abortion, birth control, gay marriage, God, Jesus, and reincarnation. I acknowledge one baptism for the forgiveness of sins, and I acknowledge that no one is perfect, and I accept everyone for who they are and what they believe, gay, straight, bi, pan, trans, man, woman, and child. But lead me not into temptation, and I will follow all 10 commandments. In the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit, amen. I am still a child, wanting to be a woman, and only growing up to be confused. I want to play with Barbie and Ken, but now Barbie has lost her head, and so have I. I will always be a girl, but I was not always a woman. I am a student, a teacher, a learner, and a giver. I am what most people are afraid to be. I am someone who is okay with having more than one identity. I hope and yearn for things to be. I love and accept those around me. If I cannot tell you distinctly where I am from, it is because I am everyone and from everywhere. I am that and much, 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 much more. I am, yo soy, la reflexión de mi madre. I am, yo soy, a reflection of my mother. I don't know if I have the words I need to tell you everything I want to say. I don't know if I have enough creative impulses to get it all down on paper and truly convince you of my story. I don't really know where any of this is going, but I remember having dreams once. I remember believing in the impossible. I remember being someone else once. I don't know where she went. I think she's died in the process. I've lost her somewhere. I tried to blame scleroderma. I tried to blame lupus. I tried to blame God. I tried to blame the world, but it was no one's fault. She couldn't take the pressure anymore, so she left. You see, the old me broke up with the new me and has left both of us brokenhearted. Imagine that, feeling the broken heart of two people at one time beating in your own chest. Grief becomes inevitable, depression a necessity. I longed for the old me like every lover does at the beginning of a separation. I went back to her time and time again. I begged for forgiveness. I promised to change, but nothing seemed to work. I spent hours and hours reliving her dreams, trying to believe in them again, but she and the dreams kept slipping away. I studied her face in old pictures and thought about how beautiful she was. I closed my eyes and remembered feeling safe and secure in her skin. I feel lost. I feel empty. I'm afraid of being someone else. I had grown accustomed to her routine. She and I had wanted the same things before, had laughed at the same things before, believed in the same things before, and yet, like every sad love affair that comes to an end, she left because what she needed and what I can give her no longer fit. And the new me has been left holding the shattered pieces of a broken heart that doesn't even exist. And that is how I began my memoir, Night Blooming Jasmine, with uncertainty, with fear, with brutal honesty and vulnerability, because at the age of 22, 2 days, 2 days before my college graduation, I, a young Black Latina, was diagnosed with scleroderma, a debilitating autoimmune disease with no known cause or cure. Back then, I truly had no idea where life was going to take me next, or even what kind of life I would be able to live. But what helped me survive and endure the following decade of my life were two things: my writing and my family. Most importantly, my partner and my parents, and the women writers who inspired me since I was a girl. The writers I have come back to time and time again, despite whatever difficulty life has thrown my way. Women like Toni Morrison, Julia Alvarez, Lucio Clifton, Esmeralda Santiago, and my first and probably greatest literary influence, Maya Angelou, who was and continues to be one of my favorite poets. In her poem, Still I Rise, Maya Angelou wrote, "You may shoot me with your words, you may cut me with your eyes, you may kill me with your hatefulness, but still, like air, I rise." I come back to this poem and to her words time and time again because I, like Angelou, try to rise each and every day, even when it's hard. Not always because I want to, but because I have to. I rise for those who cannot and did not have the ability to do so. I rise so future generations can rise higher. I rise because I have a story to tell, and I know my story matters. My life matters, not because of what I have done or will do. My life matters simply because I exist, because I am here and have survived. Because after all, what choice did I have? As a firstborn daughter of Dominican immigrants, I have always felt a lot of pressure to be responsible, independent, and strong. All through elementary school, middle, and high school, I was often reminded of the sacrifices my parents had to make this journey to this country so they and their future children could have a better life. I worked hard and studied hard in school in an effort to not disappoint my parents. I participated in after-school activities like band and theater, and at one point, I even had big Broadway acting dreams. But I knew my father was not on board with that. So I did everything I could to succeed in school and get into college, because I knew going to college was the only way out of my parents' house and what would make them happy so that I could eventually pursue my real passions. Because as much as I loved Mommy and Papi, I wanted to live my life on my own terms. At the time, I wanted to take on Broadway, be a full-time actress, and be the first Dominicana to win a Tony Award. But first, I knew I had to get a degree that would make them happy. And I worked my ass off in high school, and I achieved that goal. I went to college on a full ride for both undergrad and grad school as a Bill Gates Millennium Scholar. I graduated undergrad, thank you. I graduated undergrad in 3 years and earned my first graduate degree in education 2 years after that. My goal was to earn those degrees for my parents so that they knew I had a backup plan in case Broadway didn't work out. But I wanted to be left alone to pursue my acting dream. My goal was to graduate and go to New York and prove to everyone that I could make it. But life is what happens when you're busy making other plans. And shortly after my graduate school graduation, life hit me hard. At 22, I was diagnosed with scleroderma, a disease that can affect all major organs, but most especially the skin. And everything I thought I would do in life came to a screeching halt. Scleroderma comes from the Latin, sclero meaning thick, derma meaning skin. It seems my body had developed thick skin, which we as a society often deem a good thing. But in my case, my thick skin was keeping me from being able to move forward. Scleroderma is characterized by the development of excess collagen or scar tissue on the skin and other organs, chronic joint pain and inflammation, debilitating heartburn and gastrointestinal issues, fatigue, sensitivity to cold temperatures, finger ulcers and deformities, and a whole host of other symptoms that could lead to organ failure and even death. When I was first diagnosed, I struggled, as anyone might, to handle everything that came with my disease, both emotionally and physically. But I was still determined to live. I decided if I couldn't make it to New York because I needed health insurance, money for medications, and the support of my parents and my then boyfriend, now husband, to survive, I would do the next best thing. I would teach theater and be the best damn theater teacher I could be. This was also the time where, because I needed an artistic outlet and a way to process the grief around my illness and the loss of my acting dream, I began to write more earnestly with more intent. I wanted to chronicle my journey in the hopes of bringing awareness to this rare disease because I hoped it would make me, and perhaps someone else, some other woman, feel a little less alone. I began to attend weekly open mics and started a blog about my illness journey. And this worked for a while. But teaching full-time, 60-plus hours a week at a very demanding charter school was not what my body wanted or could handle. So without fault, every summer, I crashed and burned and ended up in the hospital, worse and worse each time. My body was telling me to stop and rest, but I refused to listen. I kept trying to work and teach. Then, in November of 2011, after starting at yet another new teaching job, I suffered a miscarriage. And rather than face the grief head on, I buried it. I didn't talk about it because miscarriage isn't polite dinner conversation. Because miscarriage means something's wrong with your body, and I was already feeling like my body was irreparably broken. So instead of talking, I reached for books and stories about miscarriage and found almost none to help me heal. So I spent the next 5 years trying to make sense of it through failed poems and clunky essays that never truly seemed to capture what I wanted to say. Because what I realized is there is no word in the English or Spanish language for a mother or a father who loses a baby. My miscarriage and subsequent failed attempts at getting pregnant again led me into a flare-up. By the summer of 2012, I was back in the hospital, this time for near heart failure. You see, rather than crying the tears I needed to cry for my miscarriage, I suppressed it, and my heart decided to cry them for me. At 27, I was rushed to the ER with ounces of fluid around my heart. At 27, I almost had a stroke. I spent 5 days in the heart and vascular ICU of Memorial Hermann. and shortly thereafter was diagnosed with a second autoimmune disease, lupus. And for the next 5 years after that, lupus would debilitate me more than scleroderma ever had. Lupus attacked my heart, my lungs, my skin, my kidneys. I lived with chronic pain, fatigue, rampant inflammation, and was in and out of the hospital for months. I experienced medical racism and gaslighting from nurses, doctors, technicians, and surgeons. In order to gain any respect from them as a patient, I immersed myself in the language of medicine and my various conditions and began to speak their language, using words like pericardial effusion and nephritis. That was when I was finally taken seriously. It was my love of language and words that saved me multiple times when doctors and nurses tried to turn me away from the ER. And it was by turning to my writing that I was able to cope with the emotional distress of it all. It was only after my lupus diagnosis that I quit teaching full-time, but I still refused to give up on living. I wanted to be of use. I wanted to be more than my illnesses. So I transitioned to working full-time from home for an online school. I also began work on putting together my first book, Island of Dreams, about growing up as a military brat. It was the best thing I did for me and my health. I began to recover, slowly. I made healing my second full-time job. I took my meds. I went to all my appointments. I practiced yoga and meditation. I went to acupuncture and took nature walks. I drank water and avoided gluten, dairy, corn, and sugar. I did it and tried it all. And though my health ebbed and flowed, I did sometimes feel stronger and healthier. But there was one thing I kept failing at. The one thing I really wanted beyond a job, a book, a career, or a purpose. The one thing I thought for sure, as a Black Latina, my body would be able to do: get pregnant and have a baby. After all, don't Black and Latina women get pregnant just by breathing near a man? For 6 years, I tried and tried everything to have a baby. And the grief and angst I felt at not being able to see those two lines once again became almost unbearable. But again, who could I talk to? Infertility, like miscarriage, isn't polite dinner conversation. When all your friends and sisters and cousins are getting pregnant and you're not, you don't want to be the one to spoil everyone else's fun. So again, I didn't really tell anyone what I felt. Instead, I found a way to write about it. But writing wasn't enough, it seems. And this time, my emotions manifested themselves in ulcers on the tips of my fingers, and just when I thought my scleroderma was under control, it hit me in one of the places that hurt most: my hands, which I needed to work, to write, to teach, to function. I battled tiny ulcers that opened and bled and got infected for years until all the doctors could do was amputate the fingertips because the infection had reached the bone. After exhausting all possibilities of treatment for lupus and scleroderma raging through my body, my team of doctors decided it was time for a more aggressive treatment. In 2016, I began IV infusions of an experimental drug for lupus. Luckily, it had minimal side effects, and treatment was only a 4-hour infusion once every 2 weeks, every few months. I was lucky. The infusions worked. Within the first 6 months, the inflammation in my body was lower than it had been since diagnosis. I felt less and less joint pain and fatigue. My internal organs and blood tests were improving. I finally felt hope. I finally felt like I could plan for my future. I enrolled in a graduate degree program to earn an MFA in creative writing, not because I needed another degree, but because I wanted one. After having endured everything I'd been through, I decided this degree was for me. I had pages and pages of my chronic illness and infertility journey that I wanted to share and that I knew would connect with other women, because anytime I openly talked about my journey, other women would privately tell me their own. I decided I would tell my story to the world in the hopes of helping just one more woman feel a little less alone. In 2017, while in grad school and working on my second book, Night Blooming Jasmine, feeling strong and optimistic and with the okay from my doctors, my husband and I took one final step towards starting our family. We decided we would try IVF as our last hope. And like the infusions that saved my life, I was lucky and IVF worked. We had our little Luz Maria in 2018. We had our little Luz in 2018, and she is the light of my life. Everything I do now and everything I write is for and because of her. She is my greatest gift, my light, my reason for being. But as I've mentioned before, she is not the only reason I am still here. She is not the only reason I rise every day. You see, I've been lucky enough to be surrounded by my life partner, Lupe, and my parents throughout my entire illness journey. A journey that has not, nor will it ever end. A journey that is as unpredictable as it is frightening. A journey I would not have survived alone. I think of this often when I write or talk about my illness, disability, and my successes. My family, mi familia, has always been here, holding me, supporting me, making room for me. Even when the world would have wanted to discard me or ignore me, even when Latinx communities said I was too Black, and when Black communities said I wasn't Black enough, when doctors didn't believe me and my symptoms, when friends abandoned me because my illness was too heavy for them to handle, my family never left me. My family helped me realize that I am more than my sadness and suffering, that I am more than my diagnosis and despair. I am more than my trauma and my tears, that while I may not be physically whole, I am enough. Dominicano soy, de mis raíces yo no voy a olvidarme, soy de una raza tan humilde y tan grande, montecristeño por la gracia de Dios, dominicano soy. My dirt, mi tierra, as seen by the eyes of an outsider, is poor, sad, and desperate, bleak, broken, and desolate. My people, mi gente, live with no running water. The heat of the sun burning and tainting their Spanish-colored flesh into Haitian, Jamaican, African soul. The trees echo the cries of starving children and the sorrows of fallen women. But my dirt, mi tierra, is much more than a third world country on the verge of cultural assimilation and dissipation. It is drum beats, keeping rhythm with heartbeats. It is a 3-string guitar playing old school bachata. Es una guira adding flavor to Mami, el negro está rabioso, quiere pelear conmigo, decíselo a mi papa. My dirt, mi tierra, needs not the sweat of mis tíos and mis abuelos drenching the parched, putrid pavement, or the agua de coco, 2 pesos, agua de coco, 2 pesos, suffocating the streets of El Malecón. It should survive without foreign tourists, 5-star resorts, and the colonization of Mickey D's, KFCs, and SUVs. It should thrive on the fresh mangoes falling from trees, los plátanos verdes deep fried in grease, and the sweet, strong taste of Mama Juana. Santo Domingo, Santiago, y Puerto Plata pulsate and radiate, stagnate and disintegrate. The song of these people is heard inside La Bodega, on the hills of El Campo, and on the rooftops of El Barrio. Ojalá que llueva café en el campo. Sí, yes, que caiga un aguacero de yuca y té. Let fall from the sky food, hope, and new dreams, so that all may be fed. Give them a name and a face, a religion of strength and decision. My dirt, mi tierra, runs wild with mujeres en la calle, hombres emborrachados, and barefoot boys batting baseballs with broomsticks in El Ensanche. My dirt, mi tierra, is rich with cultura and deprived of justicia. My people, mi gente, remain seated on the seesaw of ignorance and independence. But even with all their pain and sorrow, there is one thing from America these people do not need to borrow. Because you see, my dirt, mi tierra, fully understands que, ay, no hay que llorar, que la vida es un carnaval y las penas se van cantando. And although the land, the music, the colors of the flag, Dios, patria y libertad, is all they have. Life, love, freedom, y esperanza courses through the veins of Santo Domingo, Santiago, y Puerto Plata. Dominicano soy, de mis raíces yo no voy a olvidarme. Thank you.
And speechless. I think we're all speechless, yes? One more round of applause for Jasmine. Wow. You guys, that was a lot to take in. But how inspirational, Jasmine. Thank you for sharing your incredible story, your singing, your poetry. That was incredible. By the way, Jasmine will be selling her books.
Jasmine, thank you so much for inspiring us today and for sharing your story. We have a little something for you. Daniela, it has been such a pleasure to have you here with us today. Thank you for spending your lunch hour with us, or 2 hours with us. And on behalf of LWI, we want to present you with a little token also of appreciation. Put it over here.
Muchas gracias. Thank you.
Yes,
so
thank you.
Oh, yeah.
At this time, we want to recognize one of our outgoing board members. Throughout her 4 years with LWI, Valerie Garate Ramirez served as Special Events Chair, Board Governance, Development Chair, and Fashion Show Marketplace. In her tenure, she successfully transitioned 13 new board members. Valerie serves as the Chief Development Officer for Avondale House, a nonprofit organization that provides resources, education, and training to individuals with autism. She has been married to Chris for 5 years, and they have a beautiful seven-month-old daughter named Lucy. Valerie, where's Valerie? Come up here, friend. Thank you for all the time and dedication and passion that you have devoted for the past 4 years. We're almost done, I promise. This past year, the LWI directors have been working very hard to continue the mission of making a difference in the lives of Latin women and children by providing financial and volunteer support to local nonprofits. This year, we celebrated our 20th anniversary for Fashion for a Cause and honored all of our past presidents, breaking attendance and sponsorship. We've collaborated with Houston Methodist to present Conocer Tu Poder, Mind, Body, and Spirit series. This 8-week program engaged 8 women from the Tejano Center with educational sessions to provide them with tangible skills to be the best versions of themselves for their family and their community, and ended with the graduation. The partnership also included Target Hunger and El Centro de Corazon, and we hosted it at Tejano Center. We volunteered with Undies for Everyone and Wesley Community Center, and will continue volunteering throughout the year with our other 3 beneficiaries. So you should be receiving emails to sign up to volunteer. We participated as judges in the Latin Women's Initiative Grant Shark Tank with The Bridge. With the $30,000 grant we provided The Bridge last year, this program funded 8 months of budgeting and small business entrepreneurial classes. Once the classes were completed, the participants presented their business idea presentations. 3 of our ladies were judges, and we selected 3 ladies to start their own businesses, and they each received funding to start their own businesses from this grant that we provided them. We received an $8,000 donation from River Oaks District. Thank you, River Oaks District. And the Astros Foundation provided us a $2,500 grant in honor of Hispanic Heritage Month. And today, you witnessed the record-breaking total of $200,000. Congratulations again to our beneficiaries, Books Between Kids, Homemade Hope, Tejano Center, Undies for Everyone, and Wesley Community Center. Please visit Marketplace, shopping till 2 p.m., and Jasmine will also be there selling her books and signing books. Also, there's an insert in your program for a Stitch Lab event. We hope you can join us for this member-only exclusive event from 2 to 5 at River Oaks District. And lastly, save the date. Our fashion show and luncheon will be on Cinco de Mayo, May 5th of 2023. So save the date, you won't want to miss it. Last year we sold out about a month before. So once the table sponsorships go on sale, purchase your tickets, sponsorships. And I have saved the best for last, the board of directors. These ladies work so hard, giving so much of their time, their resources, and just the love that they have for serving on this board and the mission. And they have just been so amazing this year, and it has just been an honor to work alongside them. And I just want to say thank you, ladies, because you are the reason that we have had a successful year this year. And so just thank you so much. And at this time, everyone should be, has a glass of champagne that we're passing out. I'm gonna invite the board members. I also wanna say thank you to Elizabeth, our admin. All of y'all probably have at least spoken to her once or twice. She literally is the glue that keeps us together. So I'm going to ask them to come up, and we're going to toast to the $200,000. So thank you again to our sponsors, and thank you for all of you for attending, our members. We could not do this without you. Where's Gloria, our advisor?
Gloria.
And just really quickly before we do this toast, we do want to present something to our president, Vicki Luna. On behalf of the LWI Ladies Board, we are in awe of your passion, your enthusiasm, and all the hard work that you put in this past year, and we are so lucky and grateful that you're going to be joining us for another year as president. So we would like to present this to you on behalf of the board. So we love you.
Oh, love you. Thank you. Love you. So salud.